what exactly is the value which I am looking forward for through this program. What has been my own learning process for the last almost 2 years, which I have been trying to deal with this subject of conversation, which sounds really simple, but the more I read about it, the more I feel like knowing. So even after all these days of efforts in terms of reading and comprehending the subject of conversation, I still feel that look, I know only 20% of it, I still need to know 80% of it. Okay. The genesis of what is happening today practically happened almost 2 years back. What I mean by 2 years back, 2 years back when we named our Altimeet as Sunlab. So that was the time when this CMT of UP West first time discussed what is called as dialogue. Okay. So I remember when I was trying to look forward for a word for the Sunlab what came. So I had to explain it to the entire CMT that why I am talking about Sunlab and how Sunlab is important as far as the business is concerned. Okay. Otherwise, if you look at Sunlab, it sounds like some philosophical word. Whether that word has a business implication or business relevance or not. But we agreed, we all appreciated that look fine, it has a value. And this was in November 2011 when we had this Altimeet. And from there, honestly speaking, the word dialogue started rolling out, and we also started gradually appreciating the importance and the value of this word or this behavior called conversation or dialogue with reference to business. Okay? So then there have been other situations. I mean, there have been CFTs, and then we've been discussing things in CFTs, and then finally we came to the year 2013 and 14, and that's where we all agreed that look, what is important is that look, how do we connect with each other? How do we appreciate each other? How do we acknowledge the relatedness? How do we acknowledge the relatedness? Okay. When we say related, for example, when we say that look, Mr. So-and-so is related to me, is my relative, there is a difference in a behavior. When we say that look, so-and-so is a friend of mine, there is a different behavior. So when we say that look, there is someone who is related to me, the capacity to give and take is very different. The capacity to give and take is very different. The moment we say that look, somebody is related to us, am I right? Am I right? Pramod is thinking something.
Because in different contexts it may be different.
Possible, but the point which I am trying to drive home is that look, if we are when we say that somebody is a relative, the behavior is different. The point which I am trying to say is that look, we need to appreciate relatedness in general, not only limited to the relatives. If I am related to her, the fact is that I am related to her. Me and she, we sit in the same office for 10 hours a day, 22 days in a month. Now can I say that look, I am not related to her? I am related to her. If I acknowledge and agree to this fact that look, I am related to her, my capacity to give and my capacity to take expands.
If you are related to her in office, it's a subordinate relative.
Any question probably, whether it is a subordinate boss relationship, whether it is we being the employee of the same organization. The point is, if your mind goes on appreciating that look, I am related, the entire behavior goes through a change. The moment you say that look, how am I concerned with her? She is in finance, I am in HR, she is a vertical head, I am not a vertical head, I am not relating. And when I am not relating, my behavior is going to be impacted by that. The point which I am trying to drive home is that look, the moment we relate, there is a difference in our behavior. The question is that look, how do we relate? Do we relate? But first of all, if I say that Devish is in SD and I am in HR, how am I related? We are not related. That could be one school of thought. But another school of thought could be, look, me and Devish are related. Number one, we are part of the same organization. Number two, we sit on the same floor, we sit in front of each other. And we both are human beings. We both stay in the same city. We both are on more or less same part of the geography. So there are a lot of points which you can have in your mind to relate, and you can also have a lot of points in your mind for not to relate. So we in CMT realize that, look, somewhere we have not been very good. I'm not saying not good, I'm saying we've not been very good in terms of appreciating relatedness. Relatedness of different functions, relatedness of different verticals, relatedness of different people, relatedness of different sex, relatedness of any type. So we said that, look, relatedness is something which we need to appreciate. So when we started talking about relatedness, we started showing a behavior which represents relatedness. For example, CMT traveling together for the ZOR, CMT, you would have seen that in the last 2 years there are certain things which have happened which are basically representing and showing that, look, relatedness matters. Because the way you relate is the way you think, and the way you think is the way you behave. So when you are able to appreciate relatedness, you are able to appreciate. Now, then we said that, look, like, if relatedness is to be appreciated, how do we take it forward? So we said, look, what is important to us? So we said, look, there are 4 things which are important to us. That is what these 4 CFTs have come into existence. Okay? We had 9 CFTs last year, if you remember. This year we are talking about only 4 CFTs, and everywhere we are talking about something which is not very objective. Yes, we are trying to objectify it by saying that the customer satisfaction score would go from 65 to 72. That's a figure. But then we are also talking about what is called as not very objective, which is an experience. So we talk about experience, we talk about the customer touchpoint experience, we talk about the employee experience. So when we started talking about experience, we also started talking about things which are subtle, they're not very, what we call as black and white, things which are more value based. So that's where we said that, we need to make our people appreciate the way they connect, appreciate the way they relate. We need to tell our people that, look, how mutuality is important. Mutuality in the sense that, look, me and you we both have a capacity to make a difference. And I'll tell you, the way you connect, I have such a strong belief that the way you connect is going to determine the world of yours. There is a saying that, look, you are known by the circumstances you are in. So if I am in a good circumstances, it's my creation. If I am in a bad circumstances, I am in a bad creation. If I have friends, my creation. If I don't have friends, my creation. It's all my creation, okay? So that is how we in CMT started understanding the subject of conversation. We started appreciating the sensitivity of this particular subject of dialogue and conversation, and if that is being done well, our very strong belief is that the business is going to be done in a better way. So conversation has a business case. Is it reaching? Right now, what is conversation? Before I start and start sharing with you the different elements which are there, the different behaviors which are there. But before that, there are few fundamental things which we need to be clear about. And if we are not clear about those fundamental things, I think the gain from today's program are going to be limited if we are not able to understand these fundamental value points, okay? See, all that gets created in this world gets created because of conversation. What is getting created today here is also because of the conversation. Whatever gets created in the office is also because of the conversation. Whatever gets created at home is also because of conversation. Conversation is a fundamental unit through which we connect. Is that right? While conversation is so fundamental, what we treat conversation as something like fish treats water. Fish doesn't know the worth of water. It stays in water, born in water, lives in water, eats in water, sleeps in water, everything in water. She takes water as something which is very natural. But the moment the fish is being taken out of the water, then the worth of the water is being realized. So conversation is something like this. We feel that, fine, we are born with a tongue, we are born with 2 ears, so God has been good to us. It's a natural instinct to speak, and that's how I've learned to speak. No, it's not that limited. It's far more than that. So conversation is a very fundamental. Tell me any work which gets done without conversation. Any small issue at home, any small issue at office, any small issue in the society, anything. Tell me if anything happens without conversation. There may be conversation which may be more vocal, there may be conversation which will not be that vocal, but the fact remains that nothing gets created in this world without conversation. That is why I have named this program Create and Converse. Converse to create. Converse to create. You understand? So nothing. Even if you look at your family context, how does your relationship gets built in the family with your son, with your daughter, with your wife? It's only the basis of conversation. Okay. And we take it as something which is normal. I know I speak, Pramod speaks, Deva speaks, everybody speaks. So what's so great about it? No, it's not like that. As we move forward, you realize that look how wild and how important a simple subject, which sounds simple, it's not simple, it sounds simple, which is conversation. Now when you want to understand conversation, please do not try to understand it like any program which is on a communication style or a communication effectiveness. Sorry. Please do not treat this program as something where you want to learn how to communicate with people. No, I'm not here for that. Conversation, I would be expecting you people to understand it from, number one, the softer behavioral point of view, okay? And the behavior doesn't come out of the vacuum. Your behavior comes, whatever your behavior is because the way you think. So we'll be touching something like a very sensitive subject which is not very black and white, that look, how do we all think? It's a very sensitive subject. How many times we think, or how many times we try to reflect that how exactly I think. So when we are talking about conversation, we'll be talking about something like how do we think? What are my thoughts? Where are these thoughts coming from, and why do I think the way I think? So it's not a program which is going to give you some clues in terms of what is called as communication skill or communication style, how to become a good communicator, how to become a good negotiator. No. There are no. I was reading a book which. What we are going to talk about today is something what this book talks about. It's going to be. It's going to be true. It's going to be good. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be true. It is going to be good. And it is going to be beautiful. Now these three words in English are nothing else but what is called as a Satyam Shivam Sundaram. True, good and beautiful. Okay. Now, a life is limited or not complete if these three elements are not there in life. If the truth is not there in life, if the good is not there in the life, and if the beautiful is not there in the life. Now what has happened over a period of time, the entire system in the society or in the world has become true biased. You understand what I'm talking about? True biased in the sense that look, what is scientific is being believed. True is all scientific. Good is all value part of it. Value part of it in the sense that look, we have certain values. There's a Hindu value, there's a Christian value, there's a Muslim value, there are different values. That's a good part of it, okay? But the beautiful part of it is the art, aesthetics, beauty. So a life which is only true is missing on the rest of the true. And the life which is only beautiful is missing on true and the good. So what I'm going to talk, conversation is to be looked at from this point of view. Your conversation has to be true, good and beautiful. How? I'll be unfolding it as I move forward. But is the point reaching? Now in the entire system, how many times do we ask that, look, is my relationship with the channel is good? Is it true? Is it beautiful? Is it, I mean, do I make a statement ever that, look, when I go to a channel partner, oh, it's beautiful to be there. It's beautiful to be with him. And whatever transpires between me and the channel partner, when I go to my channel partner, is it true? True means true. It's not about playing a game. So the conversation today is not about communication skill. Conversation and dialogue is not about communication skill. It is deeper and far deeper, which will have a value. I guarantee it to you, not only from the organization point of view, not only from your own function point of view, but I'll tell you, it will have a tremendous value from you as a human being point of view. Because all said and done, vice president or a president or a CEO, end of the day, you are humans. So if I get benefited at a human level, I am bound to get benefited at other levels, which are my other roles in the society. Could be of a husband, could be of a father, could be of a boss, could be of a subordinate, could be of an employee in the organization. Conversation cannot be understood without understanding and appreciating what a mind is about. So there is a need to understand this very important element. I'm using element, I'm not using any other word because I'm careful about it. You need to understand how does mind operate. We'll be talking about it, like how does mind operate. Why is it so that when something is being spoken to Vasu, it does not upset Vasu, but the same thing when it is being spoken to Mudit, it upsets Mudit? Why is it so that when I speak something to Vasu, Vasu comes back to me and seeks for a clarification, tries to build on that conversation and takes it to a different level? Why is it so that Mudit, after listening this, goes into his own oblivion and decides not to talk about it because that's the moral of the story he has inferred or deduced? Isn't it different and interesting? We all have a predominant way of getting into a conversation or specific. Gaurav may get into conversation in a particular way, Deepika will get into conversation in a different way. So why does it happen? Right? So understanding mind, understanding bit of a philosophy. Because I always feel that I have unlimited interest in words, and when I play around with words, and I keep getting different meanings and new meanings of the words. 4 days back, I was reading another book. So there's a word which is called immediate. We generally say that, look, give me this immediately. I want it immediately. Okay, and this needs to be done immediately. Okay. So the word immediate has been so beautifully split. See, when you want something immediate, there is no you don't mediate. And when you don't mediate, means that you don't meditate. So anything which is being done immediately is being done without meditation, Without meditation. Meditation means what? Meditation means that when you are able to mull over it truly, when you are able to mull over it beautifully, in a good way, true, good and beautiful. It's very important. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, anything which we do has to have some element of these three things. If some element of these three things is not there, consequences may not be desirable. Too much of, for example, it's like, we have a HR policy, okay? Is it a true policy? Is it a good policy or is it a beautiful policy? Now you will say, what are you talking about? Beautiful in policy, how does it get connected? It gets connected. So when we will be talking about conversation, we will be talking definitely few things about philosophy. Because philosophy, people say that it's a philosophy, it's a gyan, it is not. Please appreciate philosophy, falsafa, physics, all these words sound same. Falsafa is what? Falsafa is, we say that look, the falsafa of life is this. So falsafa as a word, philosophy as a word, physics as a word, I see a lot of similarity. I see a lot of physics in philosophy and I see a lot of philosophy in physics. Analyze thinking. So there is a need to understand a bit of a philosophy in this way that, look, fine, why do I exist? Who am I? Is me and my mind the same? Am I my mind? Or am I more than my mind? Is my mind there to serve me, or am I driven by my mind? And if I say I am driven by my mind, who am I? Am I my mind or I am more than my mind? Who is making a statement? Nirmal Singh is making a statement that, look, my mind. Who is that my? Are you getting? This is heavy. Please, want to have a water? Please have water. So I told you that, look, there will be a degree of philosophy into it, because when you talk about philosophy, I'll be talking about either Hindu philosophy, I'll be talking about a few things which make sense for conversation. We cannot take conversation as a mechanical, skill-based stuff. No. Because what we talk about is, we talk about a creation, we talk about converse to create. Create what? Create more good. Create more truth. And create more beauty. So have more of Satya, more of Shivam and more of Shudra is what conversation is. Pramod has taken a glass of water. And these are the points which we don't think. I don't know how many of you would have thought about, if I am not my mind, then who am I? I am making a statement that I am more than my mind. Now, mind is an interesting organ. Now there is something called mind, there is something called brain. So there will be a bit of a neuroscience which we'll have to bear with when we move forward in conversation, okay? So there will be a bit of a neuroscience, okay? That look how your brain as an organ functions, okay? So your mind, why do we feel angry? Why do we feel elated? Why do we feel happy? Why do we feel sad? Where is this machine? Where is it coming from? Have you thought about it? Time need. So your mind is being created to make you feel secure. Mind is a safety organ. Your mind has been created to make you feel secure, okay? So it has a way to work. How does it work? We'll be understanding as we move forward. But then I'm just trying to set a context that, look, these are the things which we'll have to keep in mind and we'll have to understand, make an attempt to understand, because we are more into the figures. What goes in our mind very fast is wrong. The VNR goes very fast in the mind, is MIS as far as Gaurav is concerned. He looks at the Excel sheet and he can say that there is something wrong with this Excel sheet. Whether the revenue is getting leaked or not, whether the primary, tertiary and secondary is in shape or not. So we go on the figures, okay, fair, fine enough, it's a business, not enough important. But how my mind, your mind generates thoughts. So we say that, look, it's my thought. Generally we make this statement, it's my thought, okay? But you don't carry thoughts, your thoughts carry you. You don't carry your thoughts carry you. Do you understand this? You don't carry your thoughts carry you. And you behave the way your thoughts are. Now where these thoughts come from? These thoughts are nothing else but your memory. You've gone through certain experiences all these days in your life. I have gone through certain experiences all these days in my life. And all these thoughts come from my database.
Reflection of past.
So the moment I look at something, some person, the moment I look at some event, the moment I'm into a certain situation, what will happen is that, look, everything happens pretty fast. It goes into my database and it says, look, oh, it is this. So all your thought is a past participle of think. When you are thinking, you are in your current. Otherwise, you are always with your thought, and your thought is a past. Your past is not relevant to the present. And if you live in present with what? Something which is irrelevant, you will be limited. Making sense? No. Thought
can
is
be current also. Thought can be past as well as current. Both the ways.
Current is thinking.
Current is thinking.
Thought is the past.
How do we create something new? Like it is not always that we are thinking about past, but sometimes we create something new.
You'll have to be ready for the new experience. You'll have to be ready for the new experience in the sense that, look, if Nirmal Singh behaves the way Nirmal Singh defines himself, or if Seemanth Dadu behaves the way Seemanth Dadu defines himself, who's defining? You are defining. Who's defining? I am defining, right? And then I will live that. It's my creation which is based on something which is more past, and then I am not ready to surprise myself. The day you surprise yourself that, look, Seemanth Dadu, how can you do it? Oh, this is so interesting that, look, Seemanth, you have done it. Oh, this is so surprising that, look, Nirmal, you have done it. So when you do something which surprises you, is when you are thinking. Otherwise, most of it is a thought. The whole life goes like that. You don't realize that, look, we live our thoughts. Well, thinking is how many times, if your child says, look, Dad, you are different today. What you did today is very different. So you've thought that that's when you are thinking. Am I making sense? No. I know, it will take time. It took time to me also. And honestly speaking, when I read it the first time, it took some time for me also to...
Sir, what is the difference thought and thinking?
Thought, the only difference is thinking is more current. For example, जब मैं और आप बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं और मैं और आप इस बात को we acknowledge this that, look, you have your own thoughts, I have my own thoughts, okay? But if me and you can understand her thoughts, you understand your thoughts, I understand my thoughts, and then we get into some conversation. Now, if you are, then what will happen that your past will keep coming in.
Yes.
And those are thoughts. I am talking to you that, Shivan, life is about this. And you've gone through some experience in the past about the life, and then it's going to pop up in your mind. Now what is popping up in your mind on and off is a thought, which is coming from the past. The moment you say that it is all past, this is coming from the back, let me lose it and listen to the music. Or let me lose it and listen to Seemanth. There is so much of cacophony here. There is so much of data which is there. Now I need to appreciate that where is it coming from. It's past. The moment I say the thought is the past, when I am discussing with you, I am sure there are a few things which are on at the back of the mind. Those are thoughts. But what me and you are discussing at this moment of time, and if you are thinking with reference to me and you only, and discussion which is going on between me and you, is thinking. When you are not getting colored by what is coming from the database, is thinking.
So thoughts and thinking can be contrary to each other.
They can be contrary, they can counter, they can complement. They can complement. I'm not saying that you forget your thoughts. It's not possible to forget your thoughts. So your thoughts are very integral part of your existence, because if I've lived for 47 years of life, there are experiences which have gone in me and they all are there with me. But the point is, I need to be clear. I'm not trying to be judgmental about it that look, your thoughts are bad or thoughts are good. No. I'm saying that look, most of the time, please understand my statement, most of the time we are with the thoughts. And thoughts are past. I'm only making a plain affirmative statement. I'm not making a judgmental statement or interpretive statement. No. Is that clear? And please do not take it as any judgment that thoughts are bad. No. Thoughts are fine. Thoughts will be there because the database is there. It's like, you have a database which keeps getting added, which keeps growing, which keeps becoming bigger and bigger. You got to keep changing your application software. There's something called application software. Application software is thinking. With same data, different report. With same data, different graph. With same data, different. So who does that? That's a application software. There's something called application software. I hope you understand. So thinking is more like application software. Now there is a philosophy here. The philosophy says that look, past is dead. What has happened yesterday cannot be recreated. That has happened. What happened yesterday at this time has happened. You can't, but then we carry it. So there's some moral of the story out of what happened yesterday, we'll carry. But that's past. And ladies and gentlemen, past is dead. But we carry that past. So that's the way our mind is designed, that's the way we operate. Fair enough. I'm not saying right and wrong. Please do not take me as right and wrong, or do not take me as something which I'm trying to be judgmental about. No. What I'm saying is that look, please be conscious of this reality that thoughts are all past. And we all get influenced by those thoughts and make use of those thoughts in the current context. I am not saying there is anything good or bad. No. I am not saying that look, 25% is right or 50% is wrong. I am not saying that even. I am only trying to make this group become conscious of this fact that most of the time we are with the thought, most of the time we are with the past. And we are trying to create future or work on current on the basis of the past. People say that look, I have 25 years of experience. That's past. You can't, you have 25 years of experience. So there is a saying in English that your experience could be a misleading teacher. Your experience can be a misleading teacher. So that is why you need fresh people in the organization who don't carry that tag of 25 years of experience and have a fresh thinking. It happens in a family when our elderly people try to give us some wisdom and say, look, it doesn't work like this. Time has changed, Dad, it's not like this. Your son will tell you that, oh, come on, what are you talking about? It's different. Because they're still with the thought. We still tell them, when I was a child, do you know what used to happen with me? So we have our own style of teaching our kids. I need to be great to teach my son, not necessarily. So that is why, and the same thing happens in an organization. He has his thoughts, I have my own thoughts. When I connect to Vasu, when Vasu connects to me, I need to appreciate that look, Vasu has his own database. Now I don't want to understand this that Vasu has a database, but then I want to recognize my complete database. I am aware of my thoughts only, I am not aware of Vasu's thoughts. I want Vasu to understand, acknowledge, appreciate, adjust with my thoughts. Have I ever talked to Vasu that Vasu, what do you think about it? Where are you coming from? What your thoughts are? Conversation needs that. Conversation needs appreciation that look, people have their thoughts. Thoughts are their experiencing of the past. We all have a nature to carry those thoughts, mix it up with whatever situation we get into. Fine. The point or the only rider is that look, is it expanding me? Is it expanding me? If it is not expanding me, then there is a need to understand somewhere. Nimesh, is it making sense? Huh? Relationships. It becomes so simple, you know. The moment you say that, look, it's past. It's dead. So it's gone. And what is gone has gone. You can't, can you create what was yesterday at 10:30? No, you can't recreate it today. It's gone. It's like the flow of a river which has moved. Can you hold the flow of a river and say that, look, I'm holding a water? You can't. This is called darshan. What is called as a philosophy, okay? But the life is like a river. I was sharing with somebody that the life is like a river. It's my own imagination, believe me, 100% my own imagination. I've not read it. If I've read something, I say that I've read it, okay? This is mine. I was thinking that look, life is like a river. It originates from somewhere and it flows and there is a continuity in it. And it is changing every movement. Please understand, it's changing every movement. The flow which is moved is, the flow which is falling is different. You take a water sample at 10 o'clock, if you take a water sample at 10 o'clock, 1 minute past that, it's a different water. The different particles which are there, the different contents which are there is different. So is life. So there is a continuity, there is a flow, and every moment there is a change. We don't realize, first of all, the change is a difficult stuff. We want to be the way we are, we want to live the way we define ourselves, what is called as the ego. It's your self-image. You live your self-image. So the point when I'm saying that, look, your thought or your past is not a reality for other person. Your past is not a reality for other person. Am I making sense? And all your past is also not truth. Zafar is confused. This will happen. I'm not surprised. There'll be what you'll raise a question that what is Nirmal Singh talking about. It took me some time, quite some time, to understand. I'm saying, I'll repeat and try to simplify it. I'm saying that look, my thoughts are my reality. My thoughts are my reality. Her thoughts are her reality. And reality may not be truth. Reality may not be truth. Your truth and my truth is different. That is why I make a statement that truth is not discovered, truth is created. So again, think about it. Every word which I am speaking, please think about it. I am saying that truth is not discovered, truth is created. Pramod will create his own truth, I will create my own truth, he will create my own truth. And if we talk to each other, we will find that look, we are creating a different truth. So if we understand this, if we acknowledge this, then the way I connect with Vasu, the way I connect with Gaurav, the way I connect with XYZ in softer as well as difficult situation is going to be different. If I do not understand, it's like, I was listening to an advertisement, which is, I don't know which company's advertisement, these days it comes on radio. Janoge tabhi to manoge na. You heard of that ad? अरे भाई जानोगे तभी तो मानोगे ना, जब जानोगे नहीं तो मानोगे कैसे? So I found, I was driving and I said, look how powerful, and it makes sense to me that look, you got to be aware first to believe. So I'm trying to raise a lot of such points today which are basically with an intent of generating that awareness, creating that awareness that look, oh, I have never thought about it. Is my mind my master? Is my mind is there to serve me? Am I driven by my mind or I drive my mind? Do I ever reflect on these points, or it's like, ubare daraz maang ke laye the 4 din to aarzu mein guzar gayi to intezar mein. So these are those type of, and when you start operating on these things, I'll tell you, small issues do not bother you. What happened yesterday between you and the boss is the past is dead. Finish. What is reality is that today. What happened in the past is over. What happened in the past is over. So past is gone. Why am I carrying it? Then how many times we carry past in a relationship? Most of the time. So a simple fact that the past is dead can change the complete orientation. So what happened between me and the CEO? CEO was not happy about something yesterday. Fine, that's past, gone. Let me go and be the fresh person today. I'm not going to carry the past because I believe that the past is dead. And I want to remember 6 months back what my boss told me because it's still disturbing me. What is disturbing you? Past is dead, yeah, come on. Nobody else is disturbing you. You are disturbing yourself because you're carrying that thought. You're still keeping that thought alive. And the moment you say that the past is dead, it's dead. Life becomes simple. Your openness is there. Your openness is there. Isn't that? So, conversation, why I am saying all this is that conversation, I don't want to tell you conversation that look, this is what the conversation is, step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. No. It doesn't work like this. Conversation is a very, very wide subject. Please understand it. I'll be talking about, for example, how many times we listen. So, the book which I was reading raises a very interesting question. How many times I prepare myself for listening? I have always prepared myself to speak this review, this meeting, that meeting, this presentation, that presentation. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm worried about what is that which I'm going to speak. I'm worried about how I'm going to speak. I'm worried about what I'm going to speak is going to be comprehended by people in what way. So I've always prepared myself for speaking. How many times I prepare myself for listening? Happy and listening. So phenomenal. Now again, a crazy thing. I was reading a book on Indian psychology written by a guy called Jadunath Sinha. Interestingly, a guy from Meerut who died in I think 1940s. But his books are still there, and he's a guy who's done a thorough research. He was teaching in one of the college of Meerut. Okay. So this person. I was reading about what is called as Indian psychology, and I was reading about these 5 senses. We have these 5 senses, okay? And then these 5 senses are connected with 5 elements. So we say that, look, it's earth, it's water, it's air, it's sky. Do you know that the sky connects with which part of your sense organ? Which sense organ? Akash. Akash connects to here. So those 5 elements have a connection with 5 senses. Do you know this or not? No. You don't know that. So there are 5 senses. You know this? Now these 5 senses have, it is said that they are made up of an element which is air, water, light, space, Akash. And this world is more of a space, less of a mass. This world is more of a space, less of a mass. Is that a right statement, engineer? If we take this world, this universe, okay, world is not a right word. This universe is more of a space, less of a mass. Mass can be seen, visual. But the space is huge. Moral of the story. There's so much to listen, very less to see. And we prepare ourselves for speaking. We become a speaking biased people. Can we listen? God has given us 2 ears and 1 tongue. God wants us to hear more. I don't know whether I've shared with you guys or not, but your ears are senior to your eyes. Your ears started working when you were there with your mother inside. Your eyes opened up when you landed up on this earth. And your ears were working before you were born. That is how there's a story of Abhimanyu listening to that story and then Chakravyuh. So your ears start working even when you're not arrived on earth. Okay. There's another philosophy which says that look, life is sound. Life is sound, your breath is a sound. Till the time the breath is on, you're on. And when that sound disappears, when this goes, the life goes. So life is a sound. Sound itself is a subject, not only in physics. I'm saying sound is a subject in philosophy. That is why I say that I see a lot of similarity between philosophy and physics. Why does it happen that an electron becomes a particle and the same electron becomes a wave? So there is now I go back to my statement of relatedness, okay. Now I say that it's not only about me and she being related, it's not about we all being related, it's about, look, the concepts are related. There is a bit of a sales in SD, there is a bit of a SD in sales. Can you survive without zero service orientation? You can't. Can he survive by closing his complete eyes towards sales? No, he can't. Can she survive by complete ignorance towards people issues? No, she can't. Though she is in finance. So I am saying that look, even the concepts are related. We pick up one particular concept and we say, look, that's the truth. We don't. We limit its expansion. We limit its holistic understanding. The other day I was sharing that there is a direct correlation and there is a direct correlation between the employee attrition and the channel attrition. Wherever the channel attrition is high, the employee attrition is high. Wherever the employee attrition is high, the channel attrition is high. These two are related. Now if I work on employee attrition without being understanding or getting in touch with my sales head requesting him to work on channel attrition, I alone can't do it. Or if the sales feel that by trying to address channel attrition, they'll be able to do everything. No, because their employees also not staying. They are related. So concepts are related. People are related. Subjects are related. Views are related. Existence is related. Existence is related. Powerful statement. Your existence is not you all alone. Your existence is also related. It's like, what happens in China, if there's a pollution which happens in China, then North America gets impacted. Related. In time and space. Related. So do we understand and do we appreciate, recognize this element of relatedness? When we appreciate this, our conversations are different. But conversations are different. Am I making sense? Is it heavy? I know it is. It is. It will force you to think. It will raise questions in your mind. And I think that's what the purpose is. It's not about giving you a recipe that look fine, this is how the conversation happens. No, I will talk about that also. But then I want, please understand, if you do not understand the context, your content alone cannot help you. You need to understand the context. Sugar in a curd and a sugar in a juice and a sugar in a water and a sugar in a milk behaves differently because the context is different. It remains sugar only. But it operates differently, isn't that? It's a chemistry, it's not philosophy, okay? So you need to understand the context. If you do not understand the context, content alone would be limited. You may have super beautiful content, fine. But then you need to appreciate you need to be in sync with the context. What is called as that you can't miss forest for the trees. There's a saying in English. Is it the forest you are seeing or are the trees you are seeing? If you are seeing the trees, you are missing the whole picture which is called forest. Missing forest in the trees. We do that often when we have a business situation in our hand. We look at trees only. So conversation is, please, it's not about developing a skill. Yes, it needs a skill because over a period of time, when you are conscious about it, you try it. When you try it, you discover. When you discover, you grow and you expand. And then you realize that, look, why the hell you have been wasting your time and energy on things which you shouldn't have wasted your time and energy on at all. One simple sentence, past is dead. It's dead. I still remember it was evening, it was 6 o'clock, and you know what did he tell me? It's still there with me here, close to my heart. 6 years back, I still remember it. What the hell? Past is dead. It's gone.
Again, the one who's saying it also gets overfilled. Then it makes sense. I'm just saying the one who says it also gets overfilled, then it makes sense. The one who's saying it, obviously, carries it to the heart and then carries it to the brain. Then you really can't get over the past because then you come back and haunt you time again.
See, perfect. I'm saying that you create your reality. I create my reality. So if you are the one who has spoken something to me 6 years back, and I carry it for 6 years, so I'm creating my reality.
And the other one also carries it for 6 years.
You also carry it for 6 years. I mean, choice is yours. I can't tell you to carry it. You might have forgotten. And when I go back to you after 6 years and say, Vimesh, I still remember 6 years back, you said, this little guy, you're crazy, I spoke it and I forget it. I forgot it. The very next moment I forgot it. You're my friend, buddy, I said, because you're my buddy. And I'm carrying it for 6 years. So, if me and you would have conversed on this, I think I wouldn't have been carrying it for 6 years. And if you are carrying it for 6 years, you would have been carrying it for 6 years. Am I making sense? But we do not get into conversation. Why we do not get into conversation? We'll come back to that point also. Any question up till now? It's so. Let me listen because I've talked about listening also.
There's also a point that you said in terms of talking and listening. Okay? And I was just reflecting on it. I was just saying that there's nothing wrong about doing because that's the way you brought up. Or you can always judge by the way you speak. You never can judge by the way you hear. Okay? And as a child also, your parents and your is driving you to really speak well, be a good articulate to speaker, and as a child, that's how you brought up. So you really can't do much about saying that you stop speaking.
Okay.
Speak less and hear more. So
Perfect. I'm saying that you be conscious of it.
yes.
One. Right? If after trying, I can share my experience because when we do not listen, there is another element which comes up. We do not listen It's not in physics that the sound is not being deciphered. The sound is coming, okay. There is a element of respect, which I'll come to when I'll come here. Alright, what I'm saying is that look, we listen to those people carefully whom we respect. So if you respect, you listen. Unknowingly, when we do not listen and speak more, somewhere we are under-respecting. Somewhere, I'm not saying always, but somewhere we are under-respecting the person. If Nishant comes to me and has an idea about human resources, and if I come from a thought that look, somewhere in the past some SD chap came and shared some bogus stuff with me, and that thought is there, and I let that thought come to present when Nishant comes to me, and I do not listen, somewhere I'm disrespecting it. Isn't that because of some past? Because of some data item which is there, data point which is there in the past.
Respect also will come when based on your past only. Like when we are doing something
Perfect.
and you give me some
Perfect.
very good suggestion or something.
Perfect. Life is like a river. Life is like a river. Life is like a river. See how things are related. Could you get this point? What is he saying? He's saying that respect also comes over a period of time. One interaction, second interaction, then the respect would come. But then also the respect would have come. I'm just making a statement with a writer that the respect would have come. Or if you start respecting someone, please think: have you listened him carefully? If you would have listened him carefully, you would have respected him. It's related. Whom you listen, you respect. Whom you respect, you listen. Whom you listen, you respect. Whom you respect, you listen. Is it making sense? Nimish? Somebody whom you would have listened, you would be loving and respecting. How would you love and respect somebody whom you would have not listened? So it's complementary. Both are complementary. So I've discovered something good. Thank you. I've discovered one more point to speak on. This is that look now. They're related. So it's not only that you don't listen because you don't respect, but you respect because you listen. That's also there. Beautiful. Yeah.
You're listening and you are thinking at the same point in time, and it has no value. You are taking it as no value to yourself. Then you will not respect.
You are listening and you are thinking.
At the same time, you are thinking that the conversation does not have any value
I had
to me.
sent an article to all vertical heads saying that you can't judge and understand a person at the same time.
No, that's what I'm just coming from that point also. I'm driving that only once you are listening and you are thinking on same point in time, and you think that this conversation does not have any value to me, it will not add any value to me, then I think you will not respect to that. That is what I'm saying.
Perfect. आप अपने एक ही बात बोल रहे हो. You're not saying that आप जो बोल रहे हो वो ये बोल रहे हो कि अगर मैं उस आदमी को सुनते सोच रहा हूँ, तो मैं उस आदमी को पूरा सुन नहीं रहा हूँ, और जब मैं सुन नहीं रहा हूँ मैं उसको रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करूँगा, क्योंकि उसकी बात को पूरी कॉम्प्लेन नहीं कर रहा हूँ, राइट?
नहीं सर.
Perfect.
और ये ही saying कि if I'm listening to you, आप मेरे से कुछ बात कर रहे हैं, at the same time ये मेरे लिए कोई value addition नहीं है, मतलब इसके लिए मेरा
that discussion is not
that discussion is not value addition.
कोई वैल्यू एडिशन नहीं है. आपने मेरी बात पूरे सुने बगैर कैसे पता लगा लिया? आपने मेरी बात पूरी सुनी नहीं, मेरे को पूरा आपने बोलने दिया नहीं, मेरी पूरी जो चीज मैं आप तक पहुंचाना चाहता था वो आपने प्राप्त की, उससे पहले आपने कैसे सोच लिया कि दिस इज नॉट इंटरेस्टिंग?
मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लग ही नहीं रहा.
वो कैसे
by nature maybe I'm not, that is what I'm saying. It is not my subject. Maybe it's not my subject.
No, so you're not finding it interesting.
Yeah. So
why are you not finding it interesting? Why are you not finding it interesting?
Because I don't have interest on that particular
Why
subject.
you do not have interest?
Why I do not have interest? That is,
No, that's the question. That's the question. Why you don't have interest? Because somewhere in the mind you are carrying that this is bogus. Anything which you consider as useless, anything which you consider as not required, anything which you consider as that look, it's not done, you will not listen to that.
Or maybe he has no priorities.
Yeah. No, there's a thought, na? There's a thought.
You started processing. Actually, you started processing during the conversation.
No, no. If you start processing during conversation, that means you are not in the conversation. Then you're not in the conversations.
मेरे पास एक प्रॉपर्टी सर मैं बेचने के लिए कोई आया है, कोई म्यूचुअल फंड बेचने के लिए आया. नाउ आई डू नॉट रिक्वायर दैट म्यूचुअल फंड, so I am not interested in listening to that person. You know, people normally you know come across such people. So they try to impose on you something, but you are not interested, so you will try to somehow de-alienate yourself कि नहीं यार मुझे नहीं चाहिए. But so and this happens while you come across a credit card selling person. Sir, वो होगा ना वो. Fine, it will happen.
This is happening once you are in a discussion with your channel partner. Okay, so he is talking some which you think that it has no sense to that business context. Then you think you start processing on that point in time, and then you don't respect to him because आप बकवास कर रहे हो. आप सुनो कि ऐसा होगा. So this is a reality and this is a truth. So that is what.
That's your truth.
Maybe.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's your truth. In my truth, I different. So that's where the whole problem is. I mean, you say that this is what the truth is, and I say that look, it's not truth. The reality is that look, my truth is different and your truth is different. Yeah. Can we acknowledge this diversity and make it expand? Can we acknowledge this diversity? Nishant will not think. I mean, his truth would be different. My truth would be different. Could be because of the mere stage of life.
How can I discover this truth?
That is what. So the word used is what?
How can I discover?
No, word used is what?
Truth.
Discover.
Yeah, discover.
Discover. So how do you discover anything? In behavior, in relationship.
Once you understanding, talking.
You understand and
Ask,
talk each other
ask,
and
ask,
ask.
ask. Don't conclude, ask.
Yeah.
Because you lost your cool yesterday. I'm wondering what made you so sensitive to a simple statement of mine. Can you make me understand that? Can you help me in understanding that? 3-4 sentences, ask. You used a very right word, discover. You said, look, how do I discover? Absolutely a fine word. That's the word which I'll be talking about once I move forward. Discover.
One more thing.
How will you discover? You will discover only by either listening, you will discover by asking, or you have a choice to conclude. So why it's a flow. Please go back to that same analogy.